Hello folks, welcome back to good old Gelvin Valley. We are at the far northern end of the map. Anybody that's had the pain of watching this series knows where this is, but I'll just pop this open. We're clear up over here. We had to climb an enormous monstrous hill just to get up here, and that's after climbing these hills. Wes truly made a mountainous map, so we're kind of on top of the world. We won't look the other way, but we can really oversee the valley up here. We're higher than pretty much at any other spot that we can go to. And there were, I think, 7 bales up here. There's 3 more here. You may notice, oh, maybe we can't. If this icon wasn't here down by the sheep, we would see the 4 bales. We've already dropped them off. This is a little bit unorthodox, seeing how we have our handy rock trailer here to haul these. I managed to make it with 4 off cam. I'm going to drop my trailer here and we'll see if I can get 3 more in there. And you know, coming up here, always with modding, it seems there is the good old law of unintended consequences. Let's see if I can do this. I don't do much of manual bale handling, so this may prove to be amusing as you try to see me handle these. It was even less funny as I tried this off cam and discovered I had created a problem a long time ago. You may recall an earlier episode, I don't remember which one, where I was talking about the problem of these round bales, you know, just heading off down the hill, you know, because gravity. I mean, these hills are so steep in here. There, can I get it off? Maybe I gotta scrape it off on the gate. There we go. Maybe I'll just do that. There we go. And in order to keep them on the hills, I had to add some additional physics to these bales. You know, it was called, I think there was some commands we could, it's angular dampening, whatever that is, a linear dampening. I think it's, for lack of a better term, and I don't know physics all that well, it's additional friction of some kind, I think, moving obliquely and moving side to side linearly or whatever. And it worked, you know, perfect. You know, these bales, you know, stuck to the hills like Velcro. And I never noticed before, because I've never tried to handle them with a front loader like I'm doing here. And I learned as I came up here and tried to pick them up, they were heavier than concrete, and I couldn't hardly budge them. You know, I'd pick them up and the tractor would hardly want to turn, you know, to stick them in there, and I'd put them in the rig and they would slowly, you know, make their way onto the trailer. It's almost like it slowed gravity down or something, made it less responsive, I don't know. So I had to kind of fix that, and basically I'm hopeful what I did will still work, although, you know, it's been a while since I've done any round bales. Let's see if I can do this. I'm probably damaging the tractor. Well, maybe not too bad. It's been a while since I've done round bales, and I may not do any more. Time will tell. But I put some additional code in there for physics objects that if it's a bale that's involved, and if we're on the server, I won't bother showing you the code. I know I've bored many people with that probably too many times. But if it's those things, then it will search for the height of the terrain under the bale, and it will look at the height of the bale itself. And if it happens to be lifted, I think it's half a meter above the earth, then it releases all the physics changes that I made to it. So it sets them back to normal, if you will, and they'll handle like normal bales. I think I may still need to tinker with it a bit, because I'm not sure where the node is for the bale, and I kind of think it's in the middle of the bale. So if the middle of the bale half a meter off the ground already, well then that means that when you start the game, any round bales you have are going to immediately adopt the properties of what it was before I tinkered with the code. So I may need to change it with 1 meter, just something. So, and that'll make it a little hard to lift the bales kind of up into the air, but once I get them above a meter, then everything will change, or so goes the theory, and they'll behave like normal bales. And I've made it too so that it only does it once, and thereafter they will behave forever like normal bales. It's only when they pop out of the baler that they would stick to the map surface. So yeah, it's just like I say, one more example of unintended consequences of creating something that works and for a particular application, never realizing that it causes other problems, namely trying to actually move some bales the correct way using a front loader, although putting them in this trailer isn't correct. Now, last time I came through here, I ended up losing a bale at the bottom of this hill, but it was because I was carrying 4 of them. So, alright, now we're down to the bottom. I'll just try to take this corner carefully, because I got nothing to strap these down, so there we go. They seem to be riding okay. You know, this is a special trailer. I'm sure, you know, any that's been bored with this series watching it has watched me use it before. It's set up with a special script on it to auto-load rocks. Occasionally when we're out tilling the fields, there are rocks, and this particular, matter of fact, we can probably see it. Oh, don't have the help menu. Good grief. I don't know why that's so often off. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. But there are commands, you know, where you can lift rocks that you dig up out of the soil, and this trailer will carry them. You can dump them out of the trailer, so I can lower everything so it'll be easy to get the bales out. Like I say, it's a little unorthodox. Usually it's a flatbed trailer, you know, that gets used to haul bales. But for the moment, because I'm too cheap to go rent a trailer again, I figured I'd use what we had just on the good old farm. And as it turns out, I didn't even have to buy, you know, a bale fork. I already had one. I'm just gonna get poked. Bam. Oops. You know, I'm probably doing something very dangerous the way I am driving down the road like this. So maybe I should, let me get first on the front loader and just kind of point these puppies down. There. That's a little safer, right? Safety is job number 1. Alright, we're rising kind of out of the valley where the river went through, and we'll be turning at the road up here to head up to our sheep. Along the way, we'll go by the orchard that we recently planted. I've already been by there once. I don't think we're showing any fruit yet, so yeah, I don't remember how long. Oop, take the corner easy. Don't remember how long it takes to grow it. But I'm looking forward to harvest so I can make some money. And already we're hitting the hills. We got a few more of them to better make sure my spikes are up so I'm not hindering my progress. I haven't tried putting any of the bales in the trigger yet or into the trough where the sheep eat. I'm reasonably certain this is going to work. And I guess if it doesn't, I got some egg on my face and need to haul them out of here, clear across the valley to, oh wait, no, I guess I don't need to haul them across the valley. There is a bale sell point up here. I just remembered that. So if I need to sell them, I can. But hopefully can use them for feeding our sheep. I'm trying to remember how many liters the round bales have in them. Is it 4,000? So I have 7 bales, 28,000 liters. Boy, that's almost, yeah, that's like a couple trailer loads. So yeah, this should be helpful for our sheep, and if I can come into a little bit more money, I can expand the herd and still have plenty of food for them here. Kind of curious to check too, now that I've given them some food, to see how much wool they produced. And yeah, curiosity is going to get the better of me. I just need to go dive into the code and figure out how it works. That's what I typically try to do, versus just seeing how it unfolds in game. It's been a long time since I've raised sheep, and I don't think I've ever done it on the Gelvin Valley map. Years ago when I played it here with my boys, we just had a arable farm. We didn't get near as far as what we are even now, so here we are. It's quite a trek coming kitty corner across the entire valley. Shoot, that looks pretty steep. Well, here goes nothing. I'll just kind of slink off the side. Yeah, that ought to work. You see the other bales I have over here. They didn't really roll underneath, but we'll pretend they're sheltered. Gonna sneak over here and... Alright, let me lower the... Oops, I gotta get on the right. There we go. Open the hatch. Lift her up. Down they go. Yeah, they are behaving now like normal bales, which is helpful. Alright, there we go. And... you know, I think I'm going to unattach the trailer here. And I have no idea if we're ready to put more grass in the trough, but let me just detach this. Oh shoot, I'll come over. I'll back it up so it's a little bit out of the way. But I do have all that loose grass over there, and I need to go pick it up, so let me do that. Maybe it'll take a bit more. I don't know how often it... Alright, there, a tiny bit more. And I'll keep my spikes down. So I don't really need them at the moment, but we'll head on over the hill where we have that other grass and try to peel it off of the hill. Like I mentioned last time, I'm really not sure I'll be mowing down over there ever again. Oh, there's a black sheep. Wonder what the ratio of black to white sheep are. Actually, it isn't black. Did they actually call it blue? I don't know what the technical term is. Oh, there's several of them. Yeah, probably it's 50-50. If someone knows their sheep, I'd be curious to know how often that occurs in real life. And is it a genetic thing or just a random thing? You know, certain breeds of sheep that there's a certain likelihood you'll have a black one in there. I guess in my simple head, if you have two white sheep that breed, you're only going to get white sheep, and it would take a black one in order to produce them. But, what do I know? Studying genetics was a long time ago. Okay, in here we go to where we hope to have some greenhouses maybe someday. Maybe we'd have them up here. I guess we kind of need a water source, you know, if we really want to have greenhouses. Okay, let me turn this puppy on, lower it down, raise this up so it's not a problem. It's gonna be a problem. Down the tube we go, and that ain't gonna work. You're able to mow. Oh, jumping Jiminy. You know, I could see this, let me see here. I'm gonna have to detach you temporarily. I think what I need to do is drop this here. Wait, there's actually a ditch in there we don't really see. Yeah, I took the weight up the hill because I was having terrible trouble. Oh, that's a sharp drop off. I took the weight up the hill so I could pick up the bales with the front end loader. And as it turns out, I probably didn't need it, but it was alright to have it anyhow. Those bales are heavy, but they were made to seem all the more heavier on account of the wonky physics, you know, I had done to them, so... I don't know if I can pick all this up. down here. Yeah, I think I got most of it. Let's see if I can get this. I am probably causing... Nope, I'm not doing too much damage. Yeah, this is probably going to be too cumbersome to do in the future. Wes, what did you do, mate? Come on. Yeah, this is kind of like pulling the baler in many ways. Trying to get it up some of these steep hills. Sometimes you had to turn the thing off in order for it to crawl the hill. Boy, 2 miles an hour. Yommers. But you know what? We're going to get the job done. The question I have is whether I'm going to have room in the trailer to hold it all. We will find out. Yeah, see, it's so bumpy in here. I can't even hardly... I have to come at a different angle. There we go. Peeled it off there. Yeah, I think the mower was more amenable to the bumps. That's part of the problem. Now I get this thing jockeying around in here, and it doesn't want to pick it up. But we're working it. Once again, maybe should have dragged the windrower up here. There we go. We got it. Just have to exercise a little patience. Going back to 2 miles an hour climbing this hillside. Change the angle so we can see what we're doing. Oh, the things we do in desperation to feed our beloved sheep. Now, I've made other modifications to Wes's map. Part of me wonders, I could be tempted to come in here to smooth it off a little bit, but I don't know that I want to do too much of that. Leave it the way it is, because in real life, not every place is intended to be a field or place you would just mow. So I guess if I really want to come in here and do this, I gotta go through the pain of actually doing it. But I am thinking back on the farm, I usually when you got animals, you plan for this kind of thing, or you buy the hay if you don't have adequate land to do it. You don't just find some random patch somewhere and start mowing it off, so... But oh well. The town council of Gelvin Valley appreciates maintenance being done even in some of these areas. They know the grass is a renewable resource. It'll grow back. So, oh, did I see some more up there? Nope. I think I was... Well, wait a minute. Is that some right there? I can't really tell. Yeah, that looks like some. You know what? It's probably going to be a while before I'm ever in here again, so I just as well clean the mess. Yep, I picked up a single liter. One more liter here, it looks like. We'll see if I can snag it. Yep. I have 12. Bump my way down across this here ridge. Just a single windrow this time. Not too hard to pick up. Might have missed some in the dip. Nope, got it. Good, good, good. This hopefully will fill this up, and then I'm going to be set for feed, hopefully, for a little while. Oops. Yeah, it just doesn't quite reach far enough. This is equipment I guess I've never wrangled in real life. Anybody listening, have you ever run a forage wagon? I guess it's primarily because the farm I worked on in school was, you know, arable for the most part. We had a few cattle, but we always fed them hay, put it up in bales over winter. Ah, these bumps. Yeah, see, there was something I modified in a script, now that I think of the fix I made for the bales. At the same time, you know, I was having trouble with the planter, I think that's what it was, or the seeder, making contact with the soil in here because it's so doggone bumpy in places. Gosh, this is steep. So I know I wrote a script there just to help it detect the ground just a little more easily, and it almost appears I need to apply that same script here to this wagon. Oh, you're spinning, aren't you? There we go. Yeah, I'm not going to do this again. This is not an area we want to take the tractor, and it's probably more trouble ultimately than it's worth. But you never know. If we get famine on Gelvin Valley, I guess we can return. So far, we've never had famine. And if there's famine, we'll probably eat our sheep anyhow and don't need to feed them. $15.8. Maybe I'll fiddle this in. I hope so. Really don't want to come back. You know, and you noticed up the hill, I took pains to go back and get the little liter of hay that was still on the ground, or grass, cut grass. Probably just my own OCD to pick that stuff up. But you know, I do have a script in here that if it ever hails, and I thought I saw hail on the forecast in there. Was it? Oh, got another one I left back here. Try to pick it up. There, we got it. But I thought I saw, let me just see. Nope, not in there. Yeah, we got hail coming. So, well, and really the rain too. Any rain or hail, I have a script in here that is supposed to, or am I thinking of Glen Ellie? I may be thinking, oh, doggone it, I got another bit over here. Looks like I missed some in the other. Maybe I'm thinking of my other FS15 map, Glen Ellie. Oh, I missed some over here too. Missing stuff everywhere. That's hiding in the bushes. But I have a script that when it rains, you know, because, you know, if it rains on your hay, it's going to deteriorate it in the field. That's just what happens in real life. Gone long enough, of course, it'll rot your hay, but at the very least, it will deteriorate it, and you will have less good hay. So I made a script that when it's raining, while it's raining, and for a little while after, you know, it will diminish your cut windrows, you know, whether it's hay that you have down or grass that you cut, it will automatically do that. And a kind of a handy side feature of it is, you know, occasionally there's little bits of windrow in a map that are hard to pick up, and I'm not going to say this script will find it. I mean, it's entirely at random, but given enough time it will, especially if there isn't much on there. Well, although I think it covers them out pretty equally. Ooh! Yeah, that just shows how steep it is when it turns your entire trailer into a pendulum and then swings it downhill. Yeah, boy, that's just yeah, it's not touching the ground. Come on, pick it up, baby. There we go. Grr. So I'll do the best I can, pick it up, clean my mess up, and then we'll count on the rain to take care of the rest, whatever I'm not able to get. Are you spinning? Why are you spinning? And presumably, with each liter this thing packs in, it's getting heavier and heavier, so in some ways the spinning makes sense, but yeah, but I don't remember in this version is just how much weight factor there is. Well, you know, it's probably plenty in there, so I wonder if it's protesting the load we're asking it to carry. Yeah, hopefully now it's... You know, I don't know why that tire is spinning. I have the diff locks on, so it shouldn't be... I have the diff locks on both axles. Yeah. It just is what it is. The physics in here are wonky, not perfect, and we love it anyhow, right? You know, someone left a comment on my video, actually it's been several videos ago relative to this one, asking why I still play Farm Sim 15. So I answered as best as I could, and you know, Farm Sim 25 is out now, of course, and yeah, it has much better graphics, and there's upgrades and everything, but I don't know, I know one thing, they don't have Gelvin Valley, so we kind of have to come to these older versions in order to, you know, enjoy some of these maps that it just, I don't know, it's always struck me as such a waste, all the effort that it goes into modding any version. Modder works really hard creating something, barely gets it done maybe in time for the particular version, because it can just take hours and hours, you know, soaked up into this. It'd be interesting to ask Wes, you know, how many hours it took him to create this. Maybe it was worse even in Farm Sim 13, which was the first version of it. You know, just to create everything. Maybe it was a little bit easier to bring it over to Farm Sim 15, I don't know. But you go through all that work, and you know, it takes a long time to test a map properly too. And I know there's one series I'm playing over in Farm Sim 11. You know, there's still things that I'm adding to the map. There has been a few corrections made to it. It is just hard to drum out every single error. There is so many ways for something to go wrong, and I know a lot of times people complain about that, and it's like, well, why do people put out unfinished mods? Oh, we're full. And for the good modders in particular, none of that is deliberate. You know, they do their best. You think of everything you can think of, and that's just kind of the way it is. Sometimes you just get it out in the public. They do things with your mod that you never thought to, or they test an area you maybe forgot, or not just test, they try to use it, and if it doesn't work properly, they can complain and everything. And so it's just hard to produce and put out mods, and by the time you get them, by the time they get fixed, you know, sometimes when I go to Mod Hoster and you look up a map, you know, I think I have another FS15 series going at the moment. Oh, I don't want to forget my weight. And I almost think the version that I downloaded was version 23. So you think of the number of iterations, all those times the modder has to upload the map again and again and again with corrections for this, that, and the other. You know, can be very tedious. And about when you get it perfected, all of a sudden the new version of Farm Sim is there. And then you got to go through the whole thing all over again, and it's very painful. So why play an old version? Well, because it's had a pile load of work put into it, and the mods that you get, particularly some of the really good ones, they've maybe had a lot of effort, a lot of testing, they've been in the public, and other known issues, they're more likely to be complete and put together than some of the newer versions. Shoot, the newest versions, there aren't hardly any mods at all. That's always a price you pay for being on the bleeding edge. You know, all you have is whatever's in game. So I haven't even played Farm Sim 25. I have it, I just haven't played it yet. I made sure it worked, turned on at least. Probably will get to it at some point. Never did spend all that much time in Farm Sim 22, and I don't know, some versions hit you differently than others, and this one here, it was the version that was back when I discovered. We all have a story of discovering Farming Sim, and when I discovered Farming Sim, it happened to be during the Farm Sim 15 era. And of course, once I saw what was here, I wished I had discovered it much sooner. But I didn't. Now, can I just slink over the hill here? I think I can. Probably. Okay, we'll just have to remember that we still have a little bit of product. And oh boy. Probably could put a little bit in here. Yeah, a whopping 30 liters that we put in here. So our sheep are well fed. Maybe what I need to do, let me just drop. Oh yeah, I gotta pull it forward. Yeah. Pull it forward out of the trigger so it doesn't think I'm trying to dump in the air and cheat, and put more in the air than it can hold. So I'm going to grab my trailer here. I'll head back to the main farm, and I'm going to stop by the sheep farm over here, kind of along the way. Just want to see if there's any wool. This particular farm kind of wraps around the mountain that's to our right, and we'll just sneak up here real quick and see what we have in the barn for wool. And Wes installed a Marhu mod that's very handy. Anybody that's worked with palleted material, ever since Farm Sim 13 we've had palleted material in game, and for 13, 15 it was sometimes painful, particularly for wool. When the game would spit out a pallet, and then you had to move the pallet in order for any more to show. They finally fixed that in Farm Sim 17. Oh, there's nothing over there really, just that one bundle. So, yeah, well, we'll just wait for it as she comes, and eventually we'll get producing, you guys. Anyway, everybody heard the bell. Thank you so much for coming along. We got our bales down from the heights up the air, and I think we have a fair bit of food to feed our hungry sheep. Thank you for coming along. You all have a wonderful day. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.